Smashing Machine, thank you for coming in, Mike Rise. Thank you for the first like. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I got a little bit done today for my channel.
Thank you for the first like.
Whoops. Gotta turn down the volume on this one. I posted well, actually, I did a couple of posts. And recommendations for items to heat water. Hello, Bud Files. Thank you for coming in. And Melinda Elliott, thank you for coming in. Thank you, Melinda. So I linked the channels that came into my live stream last night on my community wall in 3 separate posts. And in 2 of those posts, I put down products that I felt were good purchases, good preps, not expensive, and ways to heat water, boil water, prepare coffee, hot tea, soup, water to reconstitute freeze-dried food. Not expensive. I encourage you, if you have not looked at my community wall posts, do so. And as I've said, I indicated items that I feel like are good preps for camping, emergencies, power outages, inexpensive. Die Bullfrog 79, Uncle Al, thank you for coming in. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend. I am enjoying my time off. I have 8 more days after the day that I'm off. I'll be off every day this coming week, next weekend as well. And then I will go back for 3 weeks before I get out for 2 weeks for the winter or Christmas break. We will be having Black Friday sales between now and this coming Friday. There are places right now that currently have Black Friday sales on. If you look at some of my earlier community wall posts, I did some community wall posts yesterday in which I linked a couple of smaller size power stations, what Uncle Al would call a battery. And you can get the Blue Eddy. It is a EB3A. Right now, if you go onto the Blue Eddy website, it's $209. Likewise, if you were to go and buy it on Amazon, it's $299. I would certainly recommend you going to the Blue Eddy site to make that purchase. And likewise, I also listed the Go Labs um, 300 model, and it's going for $219. But of the two, my recommendation is for the Blue Eddy. Blue Eddy is a little bit better uh, quality, in my opinion. It has a lot of the same features. However, it also has a light on the front of it. It has a top charger. It has MPPT charging. And then in addition to that, it also has a 600 watt pure sine that will surge to 1200 watts. So no, you can't run a microwave on it, but you can run a lot of basic things on it. And it is for camping, power outages, what you would call SHTF, um, and and good to have. Idaho Garden Girl, thank you for coming in. Well, I tell you what, today I got caught up with Mike Crusher. I binged watched 5 of his ration reviews. I didn't know there were that many ration reviews that I was behind on, but I was a little bit behind. Now, truthfully, I'd watched a couple of them on my backup channel, so I wasn't actually behind on them. But on my main channel, which I was watching today, there were 5 that I had not viewed, so I binge watched all 5 of them, left him thumbs up, comments, and I'm caught up with him. The next person I probably need to do some binge watching on would be Alan Sato, Uncle Al, because I have not been giving him a lot of view time lately. I've been viewing a lot of his shorts, but I really have not been. I've watched a couple of the videos, but I mean he posts 2 or 3 videos a day, and ever so often, last couple of weeks or so, month, I've been catching a video here, a video there, but I haven't been consistently watching everything. So I'm going to try to get a little bit caught up with Uncle Al probably tomorrow. And Smart Girl NYC, thank you for coming in, Smart Girl NYC. I hope things are going well for you up in New York. Likewise, Uncle Al, I hope things are going well for you out in South California. Some of the nicest people that you could ever meet live in socialist states, excessively blue, the worst liberal states on the planet. California, Illinois, New York, and then probably New Jersey's closely behind that. I mean, these are some of the worst states that you can live in, and some of the nicest people are living in them. And people are massively moving out of them. So, the people that you would think are more conservative, they're fleeing these areas and fleeing these cities and fleeing these states. And it just basically, you're just leaving behind a cesspool, you know. The dregs of humanity, a cesspool. Joshua Humphrey, thank you for coming in, Joshua. Another good channel. Joshua is not a content creator, but he is very supportive, and I often link him in his channel on my community wall. So they launched Starship 2. They launched Starship 2. Uncle Al, you're just overwhelmed. If they were to go back to the way things used to be, where you had to pass a literacy test in order to vote, or you had to own property, or pay a poll tax, you'd never get a Democrat elected anywhere. I mean, I grew up, and supported the Democrats until they basically just went off the deep end. Now, I don't see how anybody in their right mind can support the liberal causes and the extreme wokeism that you're finding. And a lot of people are becoming what you call independents. And I've always said I was sort of, most of my adult life I've said I'm sort of independent, and I would basically support who I felt was the best candidate. But KP Heathen from Louisiana, thank you for coming in. Now, I will also say, I have been, overnight, I have been putting together a playlist, and I will usually run 3 or 4 live streams that people have done. And I will always let them know that I'm doing a replay, what like number it is. You're doing a full replay. And I've been blessed to have people doing the same thing for me. So at this point, I think I will probably be at my required watch hours January to get monetized. And still got a little ways to go. And I'm working on it. With the help of very good people, I'm working on it. Also, I'm hoping this coming week, my channel, I've picked up 21 subscribers in the last 28 days. I'm way down on the number of subscribers that I normally pick up. I was averaging over 100 a month, but since I have not been near as active on my channel, I haven't been doing the shorts. I haven't been doing the extensive videos I was doing before, and I have not been putting into my channel the energy that I was before I went back to work. My views are way down, watch time is down, and I've really slowed down on the number of new subscribers I've been picking up. So that's January is my prediction that I will be able to turn in paperwork, provided that I keep at the same pace I am now. In the last 28 days, I'm at 407, 408 watch hours. I'm averaging 100 a week, a little over 100 a week. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But for the last 28 days, I have about 408, 8-ish. A new Republican voted red since 2021. I was independent leaning Democrat. But no more, they are clueless. If I had to vote for a Democratic candidate right now, it would probably be either Kennedy or Joe Manchin. Now, Joe Manchin is not a conservative, but he's more moderate, And he's been the one that's put a stop to some of the craziest stuff that the Democrats have been trying to do. He's been he will cross over and he'll vote with the Republicans on stuff. And he'll vote against and go against things, the crazier things that they want to do. But I really don't want to talk about politics tonight. My wife says stay out of politics. For one, I don't know the politics of a lot of the people that come on my channel, and I don't want to offend people because I said something other that I basically stepped on their I don't want to step on their beliefs, and such. So I'm trying to avoid as much as possible doing that. Um, there's a big schism right now among the Democrats over support of Israel. For one thing, you know, there are 7 or 8 million Jewish people in the United States, and that's a small portion of the population. But most of them tend to be very liberal, and they tend to be Democrats. But the Democratic establishment is very pro-Palestinian, pro-Arab, pro-Muslim. So if these Jews are not out of their mind, and some of them are, they're going to want to support those who support them. And, likewise, a lot of black people are waking up to who really helps them, you know. Um, a lot of them are very uneducated, and they listen to the rhetoric and the talking points that, oh, well, we help you and we do this. And, well, they don't point out the fact that it was the Democrats that were the southern states back in the day that were the slave states. They were the slave owners, the Democrats. They don't point out that the Ku Klux Klan was made up of a bunch of Democrats back in the day, and that the Republicans really helped them. They also don't know, well, hey, Martin Luther King was a Republican. Oh, that shocks them because, they think that in order they got to be Democrats. Well, the Democrats have used them or are using them. I mean, if they want to vote their wallet, if they want to vote who's actually treating them the best and who's got the best interest for them, they should not be voting for the Democrats. And I need to shut up and leave that one alone. I think I've said enough about that, and I probably run off half the people that were listening to me. Mom of 4 boys, thank you for coming in. Eight in the house and 10 likes. I've had 10 channels come in and leave comments so far this evening. I appreciate all of you. I think pretty much I've shouted out most all of you on my community wall, linked you. I will try to do the same thing tomorrow. So be looking for my upcoming posts, and I will be posting more recommendations on preps. This evening, today, the 2 preps that I posted recommendations on were for small camp stoves. One of them I often show. I actually use this, and I use this in some of my videos. This is a Coogan's. Goes for a little over $13 right now on Amazon. I have a couple of them. I'm ordering another one. Really need to have one in each carry bag. And you can use Sterno or Camp Heat. I buy these by the 12-pack over at Sam's Club. These burn for 6 hours. So this little pack of matches I used. Took 2 matches to get her going. And I've got matches, lighters, and all sorts of stuff. So, and I buy little, to me they're toys, I buy little toys, but I mean, they're useful, they're preps. I listed a can opener, manual can opener. I think I paid less than $6 for it over at Walmart. And you can get them less expensive than that. You can get them more expensive than that. You need a good can opener. You need a bottle opener. Some can openers have got a bottle opener with them. which is probably preferable, and lots of little small preps and such that you should have. So I encourage everybody to, whenever, if you if you have the notification bell um, set for my channel, I don't do a lot of videos. I don't do a lot of shorts. I don't do a lot of stuff that you're going to constantly be getting pings from me. But when I can, I try to do 3, 4, 5 community wall posts. I will link channels that support me, that I support. It's a good way to go, and you want to find new channels to connect with. Go look at my community wall and click on the channels that I have linked. They're all good channels. Maybe some of them you're not connected with, in which case connect with them and grow. They'll connect back. Leave comments, support them. People, people who are smart, they support those who support them. And that's the way things go. The ones that support you, support them. There are huge channels that, there are several really super large channels that I watch. And they get tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of views. Do you think they have time to go and respond to all those comments? I'm struggling to respond to comments, you know. And I understand. Thank you, Mom. Fruitcake is a survival food. Well, a cake will last a long time, Uncle Al. It's really wonderful. It's coming up time to start buying them. I can remember when I was a boy, my parents would order these round fruitcakes in a can. They would get them. They'd give them out as gifts. They'd receive them. I mean, just oh God, they were so tasty. Some of them had alcohol in them. You know, and I mean, they were just so good, and they had so much fruit in it, and pecans and cherries and just all sorts of good stuff. I just And the ones that you get today, most of them, like the ones you get like at Walmart or someplace, they're not real rich. They are fruit cakes, but they're not. I mean, you have to really spend some money if you want to get a real good quality fruit cake. Um, Makes me think back. Yes, um, my mother baked was wonderful. I mean, the lady, she had a German mother, full blood German, and her father was full blood Irish, so she was half and half. But I mean, she learned to cook. Her mother, ooh, from what I understand, was just an outstanding cook, and she made desserts. And back then people would that they would spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Women would spend a lot of time in the kitchen baking. They enjoy baking. My wife enjoys baking. She bakes good. She makes good food, and she does a lot of good Hispanic type stuff. And I love to eat, and I love desserts and everything. I don't eat that much when it comes to dessert, but homemade's the best. But then we've got a couple of bakeries here where I live, and the bakeries put out better quality than what you'll get. Like go over to Walmart, or whatever. Go over to HEB. There's a couple of bakeries here that, I mean, they're old school and they put out good stuff. And and also when it comes to stuff like that, you get what you pay for. Little Lone Prepper, thank you for coming in. You know, Little Lone Prepper, is a wonderful supporter, and she's not a content creator, but I mean, and we've communicated in the past, and I have her number. I haven't. I might call you over this coming week so we can talk, or I'll text you and see if you want to talk. But she supports some really good channels. One of the channels that she supports as much as she supports mine, maybe even more, is Cold War Prepper Lee Engel, and he used to only give out very few um, standard moderator, and she was one of the ones that had standard moderator on his channel, and very supportive. And people like that are gold. You know, treat them like gold. They're gold. And she was one of the winners of my giveaway. Well, yeah, a lot of the homeless and the indigent, the poor people, the veterans and various people who are they're living from hand to mouth. They see how the illegal aliens are coming in and they're getting all these things that they used to get, and the amount that they're getting is a lot less because they're giving it to the illegals coming in, and they're getting displaced from housing and such that they were in. They're trying to find places to put them, and tax money is going to all this, and you know people who are paying taxes, they don't see the benefit of it. you know Verna, thank you for coming in. Vay's Place, another excellent channel. Vay is the quail whisperer. She if you want to know something about quail and rabbits and um, raising such, she's your go-to person. She live streams. She's got an excellent channel, and I wish I had more time to give her watch time. I will try. I will make plans to watch another one or two of your live streams. I'll do replays on your live streams, Vay. I'm sorry, Vay. Verna, I'm sorry, Verna. I will. I'll try to run that overnight. I made a note to run that one, Vay. I'll try to watch as much of it as I can. 2 hours. I have only done one 2 hour live stream. My live streams are usually just over an hour. I've done one. The time that Guru Dave asked me to take his place, went back when he was like live streaming like a madman, and getting like watch hours like a madman, twice as much as I was getting. And he'd live stream a couple times a day. He'd do a morning, he'd do an evening. Back when that was going on, there was one day, and I wasn't working at the time. He said, "Hey, can you take my place tomorrow morning? I'm not going to be able to be on, and there will be people that'll be expecting me, and they need some place to go." I said, "Okay," and I did a 2 hour one, and I struggled to get that 2 hours in because I don't, I'm not used to that. I struggled, but I did a 2 hour one. I was trying to channel him, and that's the only time I've done a 2 hour live stream. Now I've done a couple that lasted an hour and a half. I've done probably 90, close to 100 live streams. No, I actually probably done a few over 100 live streams. And I've done two that were about an hour and a half. I did that one that was 2 hours, and that's it. They're usually about an hour. And how people live stream for like 3.5 hours, where they're actually on, I don't know. I don't have the endurance for that. Bus Stop, thank you for coming in, Bus Stop. If you have not left me a like, please leave me a like to support the channel. I'm about 30 minutes in right now. There are, looks like 7 in the house and 11 likes. I've actually had 13 channels come in that I could identify. So I got all the names down, and I will be posting y'all on my community wall tomorrow. And when I do my post, I will also be doing recommendations for preps with good prices. I encourage you to put your list together of what you need. I encourage you to be shopping around, looking, prices. If you don't have a good knife, this is a Smith & Wesson. I paid about $25 for it. Had this one for about 2 years. It's a good knife. Everybody needs a good carry knife, a good knife for their pocket. They used to call them pocket knives. It's got a clip on it. This one has a little punch on the end of it where you can break a windshield, break glass. It's got a place where you can go ahead and you could cut a seatbelt if you need to, cut cord. You could probably open a bottle with it too. $25 today. I need to go over to Academy and look around and see what they got, but probably has gone up. But it's a quality knife. You gave her a freeze-dried chili you made yourself. Sounds wonderful. Hey, Mike, I don't know if you noticed, but I got caught up. I did some binge watching. Um, I did 5. I wasn't aware that I was that far behind, and actually, I think what it was, I think I was a couple behind, but sometimes I view on my backup channel, and when I looked at my, what I had on my main channel, I saw where I actually had 5 videos that I hadn't viewed on my main channel. So I basically played and watched all of them. Left you some comments. Enjoyed. So I'm not owing to you. Now watch you post something tomorrow, which I won't have viewed, and then I'm like, well, damnation, there I go again. I'm behind. But I'm caught up right now. And one of the comments that you made, and you were sort of like amazed, I've got a lot of rations with various ages, and I expect a ration stored the way I store them properly. I expect a ration to be good for 15, 20 years. Now maybe there's a component, something with nuts, something that might go bad, like you had a little Tabasco lose its integrity and evaporate, and everything in that accessories pack smelled like Tabasco, you know, and that happens. Um, I'm not really worried about it. When you're out in the field, the way the military are when they're out in the field, that's basically what you got. But like when you're us, I buy bottles of Tabasco. I got the green sauce. I got the red sauce. There are all sorts. I mean, Tabasco makes a bunch. I mean, those are the 3 that I usually buy. I've got brand new bottles. I've got open bottles. So if I need something other, it's like, oh, I can only, it's all, I mix and match. If I'm missing something other from a ration, I go into my stash, pull it out. I got it. And well, you should see the comments. I mean, I left you 1 or 2 comments on each video. I think one of them I might have left you 3 comments. But I leave support. I leave my likes. Oftentimes, one of the things that YouTube is screwing with me on, or screwing with everybody on, is one, the About tab is gone. But another thing is that sometimes when you go to look at a, to see what like number you are, and it says that 1100. Well, you know that that video didn't have 1100 likes because it's somebody had 100 views. You know, so sometimes it's like, well, I'll just say left a like, and I won't say, well, like 1100, because, oh please, um, there's some things that are screwed up right now with YouTube. Yeah, hardtack. That was the old school country, back in the days, hardtack. And yeah, what they would eat was disgusting. What they would call coffee was disgusting. Some of the stuff that they, the tobacco, some of that tobacco that they was disgusting. WD Glock and Roll. I understand there are multiple live streams going on, and some of the people that normally come in here may be on a different live stream. And I did link you on my community wall today. And hopefully, if you looked at what I put up today, I did put up a couple of recommendations. Same thing I did yesterday for preps. A good deals, good prices, not expensive. And if you're looking for stuff, now's the time. Black Friday. Now's the time you can get discounts on it. Another, and I linked her today. I did a leak on her. Holly Ivins. She was in. She's usually in Lee's live streams, and she has come into some of mine. Hadn't seen her recently, and I did a link on her. She's not a content creator, but she's a good. She views a lot, and I shouted her out today, and I wanted to see if she was going to come into my live stream this evening. Lee may be live stream right now, and she may be over there. I don't know. I have not checked. Yeah, chicory. Yeah. Some of the stuff that they would consume back in the day. One of the reasons why they didn't live that long. You know, one of the reasons they didn't live that long is they didn't have the hygiene, they didn't have the nutrition that we have today. They would get sick. They didn't have antibiotics. They'd get dysentery. They would get extremely. They didn't have clean water. They would. They used to call it the screamers, because it hurt, and they'd get dehydrated, and they'd die. There were, like, during the Civil War, there were more people who died of disease than died in the battlefield. Also, you took a hit on the battlefield, uh, chances are you were dead. Even if you survived, they'd operate on you. They didn't understand sterilization. A lot of times, you'd get sepsis a few days after your surgery. And Stonewall Jackson, he got shot. Um, they wound up having to. They didn't know how to take care of certain things, so they'd cut your arm off, they'd cut your leg off, so they amputated, and he wound up getting blood poisoning, and he died a few days after his surgery. Horrible way to go. Horrible way to go. And that happened so much back then. Uh, you need to remember antibiotics, penicillin. That was a discovery wonder drug of World War II. World War II, during the 1940s. How long ago was that? 80, 85 years? We've only had antibiotics for about 85 years, guys. Actually, a little less than that. Think about that. Nine in the house, 15 likes. And I'm sure there's some folks out there lurking. Some of my friends lurk. They don't like to. They don't like to identify themselves. I mean, I've got a couple of folks that will text me, "Oh, I loved your live stream," or "I loved your video," or whatever, but they don't want to. They don't want to leave a signature on YouTube. I mean, they have a channel and they watch stuff, but they don't want to. They don't want it, they don't want their channel name or their name associated with anything. They're paranoid. A lot of older people are like that. 10 in the house. So again, a Coughlin's camp stove right now, like I showed you earlier, $13.03 on Amazon right now. Use camp heat or sterno. And for your carry bag, for emergencies, picnics, or whatever. Lori J, thank you for coming in, Lori J. $12 in the house. I also linked a Lee Pupa, Leipupa stove, $9.19. And with that one, you can use sterno, you can use fuel tabs. Fuel tabs, you're gonna spend more money because the fuel tabs cost a little bit more. So for an actual burn to boil water, you're going to use a couple of tabs, and it's going to cost you a little bit more if you think about the amount of money you spend for the tabs versus the sterno. I'm going to buy a Vista self-powered camping indoor-outdoor heater and stove. Good for off-grid emergencies. Right now, it's on sale Amazon for $129.95. I'm planning on buying one of those. You can use it for heating. You can use it for cooking. You can use 3 sternos or 3 camp heats at a time. Take the top off of it, cook top, put top back on it. It's heater. It'll heat a 200 square foot room. 200 square foot room. And pretty good sized room. And it goes for about $130 right now. I'm going to buy one. Lee Engel, Cold War Prepper, showed one. He bought one. He has one. And I'm going to buy one of those. I'm setting myself up for camping spring, summer, fall with a wood stove. That's good. Wood. Yes, old school. Certainly. Get some dried out wood. Cut you some wood. It's like for a fireplace. That's what they used to cook with, was wood. And then later on they started using charcoal. Back during Elizabethan times, they'd heat and cook with charcoal. Well, that's good. My wife and my daughter went camping last week, 4 days, out at Coletto Creek Park. Enjoyed it. uh, People have typos. Bus stop. Well, it depends on where you're at. I don't know. A lot of people don't want to go camping when it's snowing outside, unless you've got a cabin. If you've got a tent, even if you've got a trailer, you know, you can get snowed in. You better think about it. And yeah, camping does become tiresome. If you got to do it for an extended period of time, camping gets very tiresome. 10 in the house, 17 likes. See if I can get up to 20 again. So I hope you're putting together a list of things that you need. I hope you've got an inventory. You know, look at the things that you use, and that's what you buy. You want to buy foods that you like to eat. You want to have plenty of bottled water. You know, things that you use. Have extras. FEMA suggests that you have a week's worth of bottled water. You have a week's worth of food for each person in your, where you, in your group, or where in your home or your family. And as you use things, replace them. Use the oldest first. Make sure you put a date on stuff. Sharpies are good to have. Make sure you got a date on it. Make sure you know when the expiration date is. You need to be organized. You need to be organized. Right now, these are going for less than $12. This is a 5-gallon solar shower. You fill it up, you hang it. Got to have something that will hold that weight. It's got a plastic hose on it. It's got an on-off. You get a little bit wet, soak yourself down, turn it back on, wash off the soap. 5 gallons. Like I said, 12ish. 12ish. Plain old Chuck. Thank you for coming in, Chuck. I've watched one of your videos today. Enjoyed it. I am behind watching my fired ups and my cast irons. I've got to go over to Sean's and a couple of videos that I'm behind on his. I did watch Scott's SD Mountain Man. I watched his, and and he did he did a short one today. It's not a short, but a shorter video of one of his knives that he had purchased recently. It had a couple of minutes long, and he showed how he carries it. Lady Sky, thank you for coming in, Lady Sky. Seven in the house, 18 likes. Yeah, a shower tent is something good to have. You're going to spend a little bit more money, but it's well worth it, especially if you get in a situation where you're going to have to use it on a regular basis. You want something that will last. Also, if you get in a situation where you're having to use stuff, it's always good to have a spare. In case something wears out, you got a spare. They say two is one is none. You only have one of something other and it breaks. So that's why you want to have three or four of your manual can openers, bottle openers. You want to have a couple of manual grinders. You need to make bread. You need to be able to grind up, make flour, whether it's oats or corn or grain or whatever you're using. You need a manual grinder, and you probably need two of those. Now, a manual grinder, what I was looking, and and if you look back on my community wall posts back, a couple of weeks probably, you'll see where I had recommended one that was going at the time for about $45. You know, and that's probably some of the cheapest you're going to find for a grinder like that. And I'm not talking about like you can get an inexpensive pepper grinder, or something that you basically coffee beans, that's not, you can get something probably cheaper than that for those type of, for those type of applications. But if you're talking about, grinding up, making flour, you're probably going to spend $45-50 for a decent grinder. I'll look it up and I'll post something other on my community wall recommendation. Nine in the house. Yes. One is none and two is one. That's true. Your husband was a smart man. And you need multiple of everything. True enough. Yeah, I understand, bus stop. I understand. You don't need to talk about the smells or what they're doing. I understand. I think everybody here understands. Evelyn Official. Good evening, good morning where you're at, good evening where we are at. I linked you on my community wall today. I'm sure you know that. Thank you for coming in. Please leave a like to support the channel, 11 in the house. It will help me out. Um, at some point in the latter parts of my live streams, I always talk about the same things. Um, every day when you wake up, be thankful and thank God for the day. As you get older, you don't know how many days you have. How many do you have left? When you get to be my age, you know you have fewer than those that have already passed. And pray every day. Pray for your family. Pray for forgiveness of your sins. Um, acknowledge your faith. And I pray for wisdom. I pray for those who are sick. Uh, David Vanderford, my friend Guru Dave, he was in the hospital in intensive care. He's out recovering now. He's in a weakened state. One of the nicest people you will ever meet. He and his fiance Echo. Um, her channel is Living My Best Life at 60. Real good couple. I was the fairy godfather that got them together, introduced them, and they're blessing to have as friends. They're both in Georgia, a little ways from where my father's people are. Um, when you sneeze, when you cough, turn your head. Excuse me. Somebody sneezes, the response is bless you. Be quick to apologize. Greet everybody with a smile. Tell those that you care about that you love them. Your spouse, your parents, your kids, your grandparents, good friends. Let them know you care about them. Treat people the way you want to be treated. The golden rule, do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. When you get ready to eat, wash your hands. Use sanitizer. If you're not able to wash your hands, wash your hands. You go to the restroom, wash your hands afterwards. Thank the military. You see somebody active military, thank them for their service. You see a veteran, an older person, thank them for their service. Let them know that you appreciate them. Law enforcement, the same thing. They risk their lives. Many of them give their lives. There are more and more law enforcement people dying in the line of duty, trying to protect people, trying to deal with criminals. People don't fear, killing police or deputies the way they used to. There's so many of them. Shootings and incidents. Thank firemen, paramedics, people who are serving. They're not doing it to get rich, and they're risking their lives. Thank them. Lead by example. Learn from others. Be observant. Be cognizant of what's around you. Keep your eyes and ears open. When you go into a new situation, go in. Don't do a lot of talking. Observe what's going on around you. Be cognizant. Don't watch your back. Watch your perimeter. Don't let people come up behind you. When you're out and about, know what's around you. Criminals take the opportunity to try to attack people when they're off guard if they think that they've got money on them or that they have something they can steal. They're watching. They're opportunistic. Having a dog, having an indoor dog, believe it or not, will discourage a lot of people from wanting to break in your house. They hear those dogs barking. I have a couple. I had 3, but I have 2 now. And they would try to eat somebody for lunch if they didn't know them. Make sure your valuables are under lock and key. Do you have a means to defend yourself? I have nervous habits. Like right now, I'm playing with this ear. Sometimes I'm scratching the head, when I'm playing with my ear. And yeah, depend on where you live. You need to be able to take care of yourself. How do you defend yourself? How would you defend yourself if you were attacked? Do you have a pocket knife? Do you know how to use it? Do you have pepper spray, pepper gel, a taser? Do you carry a pistol? Wayne the Ungrateful Peasant, I like the stuff that he puts out. He hasn't been here. Well, he was here a couple of days ago on my channel. Um, he's telling people if you're carrying a revolver or a single stack, you need to have a high capacity. You never know, like with these jihadis running around, people wanting to do ill will to us. You might be in a situation where you need the capacity to defend yourself or defend others. You know, you need to think about stuff like that. Yeah. Um, Having a good scatter gun, having a good 12 gauge or 20 gauge pump shotgun, you can get a nice one for $300. Pump, shoot, use double up buck in a 12 gauge and triple up buck in a 20 gauge. Good to clear room. And my personal carry is a 6-shot 357. I like to use plus P hollow points. I've got a couple of speed loaders for it. You got to practice. And unless you're fighting an army, a revolver should take care of your problem. Yeah, if you're black powder, you don't have to worry about that. You know, we're an open carry state. You can concealed carry, open carry. You don't have to have a license for that. You can get a concealed carry permit, but you don't need one. You know, it's the benefit of being in a red state that dominates the legislature, the courts, all the statewide officials. They're all conservative. Yes, lead. Lead is good. So I'm off this week, and I normally live stream at 7 p.m. every evening. Sometimes I miss. Try to do about an hour, trying to get my watch time in. Um, I support those who support me. You want to come back and do a full view on one of my live streams? I'll do the same thing for you. Reach out and connect. Support those who support you. And I will plan on being back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Everybody, look at my community wall post tomorrow. I'll be making some, and I'll be shouting out the people who were in here tonight. And I appreciate everybody that was here. I know that there are other live streams out there. I encourage you to go look around after you get off of me. You know, maybe Cold War Prepper's got a live stream going on. If he does, check him out. Same thing with Camp Patton Family Compound. Gil's got a wonderful channel, puts out a lot of good material. Go check him out. And I will see everybody tomorrow. And remember the Boy Scout motto, be prepared. Life is good. It is what it is. And everybody have a blessed evening. And I will plan on being back tomorrow. Bye.